So it's very difficult. It is good. Okay. So look at here. It is. First of all, I want to start with mainly three servers are very important for your understanding. Okay, one is a active directory, like a work group domain, active directory, and what is the use of active directory is very important. The next one is DHCP server, and another one is a DNS server. Three servers are important in our daily life itself. Okay, so daily life. So today I'm just confusing like whether work group and domain. So is better work group and domain concept. Already I said domain means when you are searching for a domain, always search for a active directory domain. Guys, work group, okay, and domain. Two things are there. Active directory domain is a different definition is there. So in this one again, work group is a decentralized administration. Decentralized administration, not a centralized administration. Decentralized administration. So I can explain here, but drawing is making me very slow. Okay, what we will do? Yeah, we'll draw it. Sure. I will take a drawing part only. Look at here. This is my PC. Here is another PC. Okay, yeah, like this. It become cross section. Okay, no. So don't. We better go to insert type only. So I put a PC here. So small picture I'm trying to put it. Okay, I can put a big pictures also, but I need a small one. Yeah, this is a one piece thing and go no fills, no fills. Okay, more weighted line. So this is the better option. Okay, so take this Control C, Control V. Uh, this is give the distance. Take it. So just three pieces. Normally I put a four or five kind of stuff. Okay, take a one draw a line. So actually I don't touch more. So when I was in earlier years, like I plan to always what we can say very interestingly drawing options searching is there. Now it is very less. Guys, these are the pieces. Example PCA, PCB, PCC, PCD, like that. Understand? This is PCA, PCB, PCC, and different users: user 1, user 2, user 3. For example, I am putting A user 1, B user 2, C user 3. User names. Okay. So all are in the network, all are in the network, but there is no centralized control. Guys, who is the administrator? Is the PC name. Who is the administrator of this PC? Is A user 1. Who is the administrator of this PC? B user 2. Who is the administrator of this PC? C user 3. These are the administrators of this PCs. Next, a user 1 cannot log into this PC. A user 1 cannot log into another PCs. Same goes. B user 2 cannot log into C and as well as A also, because the user information not stored in other PCs. User information stores in this PC only. Again, look at here. Decentralized administration means there is no centralized control. No centralized control. It's a decentralized administration. Every system or a PC has their own administrator. Okay, one system or a PC. I use a PC word, guys. One PC, one PC's user cannot log in to other PCs. Okay? Other PCs, they can't log in. A PC user cannot log into B PC. User and password information stores in their own systems or PCs. Okay, so that is a work group, guys. Decentralized administration, no centralized control kind of stuff. Every PC has their own administrator. One PC cannot log into one PC's user. One PC's user cannot log into other PCs. The user and password informations stores user and password informations stores in their own PCs. Means A PC, a user 1 username and password settings information stores in their own PCs. So that is another point. One user cannot log into another user. No centralized control. Guys, here it is one example I will tell. This is OK model. Normally, you have a 10 computers are there. Think you have a 10 computers are there. How to administrate, I have to put a certain rules. These users should maintain this kind of applications. Okay, these pieces should I will check always like what kind of application should be run, what is their desktop, or I will enforce certain rules. Each and every PC I'll go and put a setting. I think I have 10 computers. Each PC I can go and put a settings. Sometimes it is okay. If you more pieces are there, it is very difficult. It's very more pieces are there. Okay, and control individually. Okay, can control individually, not centrally. Okay, individually, not centrally. That is a important thing we can understand. So each PC you can control individually, not centrally. Not centrally, you cannot able to control. So what that means, more number of devices or systems or PCs, whatever it is, more number of devices or systems or PCs, more number of PCs are there. So difficult manage, difficult to manage. We can control or manage individually, not centrally, so that automatically, so more number of systems are there, difficult to manage. So this is what I'm trying to say, guys. So I cannot apply any policies, direct policies. I can't apply centrally. So I have to go to each and every PC. I have to do all the settings and all. Okay, so that is in a work group. Again, what is a work group, guys? Decentralized administration. I have a laptop. It is not in the domain. It is a work group PC. I am the administrator of this PC. I can control all the things about my PC. Complete individual. Okay, domain is not like that. Okay, so we'll see the domain part. Okay, so what is a domain? It is centralized administration. It's a centralized administration. We have a centralized controller is there, that is called a domain controller. So what is a domain controller? Is a nothing but a server. Okay. Domain controller is nothing but server. Lot of people use this kind of sentences. Yeah, what is your name? My name is nothing but a nothing. Okay, some people are like, what is this? What is a cloud? Cloud is nothing but a provider service. What is internet? Is nothing but a thing. What is YouTube? It is nothing but a streaming media. What is a word? Word is nothing but a non-word. Okay, a word is nothing but a Microsoft application. Why we are using this now? Nothing but, so it is nothing, not other than this, nothing is then, this is a specific thing, so to specify that one. So try to use less this kind of sentences. Okay, so we are habituated like a to lengthy meanings it is. So how much shorter it is? Domain controller is a nothing but a server. Okay, it is simply, it is a server. To say it is a simple, it is a server, we are using the word called a nothing but. Okay, so that's the sentence construction, guys. When you construct a sentence, don't learn it from me. So learn it from Sudeshna madam or Ravan sir things. Okay, but still, why I'm telling, because I don't have much that much of knowledge in it. But point is, uh, prepare the sentence before you speak at the time of interviews. Okay, like that. So when you are attend an interview, so before that one, so not before that one means not before night or morning. Okay, before 1 hour, I'm not saying that one. So now only start putting everything in your, so what, tell me about yourself. Maybe you have told in so many times earlier, tell me about yourself kind of stuff. But again, note down and start practicing again. So practice better way, never compromise in it. So better way, so nice way, very easy way, very easy way, very nice way. Lesser complex words, lesser the complex word. Use very easy word, like if someone is here your language, so then they can easily understand, easily understand. I'm not saying interviewer don't know anything, so he should easily understand the word sentences. What are we are using? You know, for one word, there is several words are there. Use one word which never affect on your mother tongue. Sometimes people use like a where. So instead of where, they use where. Instead of where, so use some other word. So understand, listen to your words, how you spell it, compare and check with other words instead of that one, so then you can able to speak better. People don't find you have a mother tongue influence, that is important, right? Okay, so we are from different areas. Okay, that we are in India, so there is somewhere it is a compromise, it will be there, right? So different places, some Tamil Nadu people speak like this, where, care, mer kind of stuff. So in Andhra Pradesh again, some people in a different areas, so this put a words in a they spell a words in a different ways. Okay, so that's the point, guys. Yeah, centralized administration, centralized controller is nothing but a your domain controller, domain control, domain controller, that's DC. Okay, so domain controller is nothing but a server. We can use nothing but a server, no problem. Just I want to show you that not always everything correct. Okay, so sometimes only we are using, so right. So domain controller is a server. Server means installed server. Now more cutting. So I need a few more lines. Okay. Centralized control, centralized administration. Okay. Domain administrator is admin for all systems in domain. DC can control all devices or systems in domain by enforce group policies, by enforce group policy. Okay, so what is why we can easily change that one. So domain controller, domain controller, DC means domain controller, enforce settings to systems in domain using group policies. Okay? Group policy. Okay? So this is service. User and computer group, user, computer, computers, users, computers. Because computers is important here. So I put it here. Groups, services, and resources in domain. Information stores in domain controller. A domain user can log into any domain computer. Okay, I think that is enough. So there's few more points are there, but for now it is enough. But I need this diagram. I need this picture. Okay. What I will do, so I will take copy. Okay. Then I will paste it, put it here or here. We don't have a space. That's why I'm not drawing like that. Okay. So here it is. Okay. Not at all a problem. Use paint brush, it is much better. Okay. All pieces are connected in the network. Guys, look at here. This is, for example, APC, BPC. Okay. This is DC, domain controller. Means it is a server one, for example. This is the server. Okay. It is a domain controller. Domain controller has information about a computers. So then it is a domain controller. Sorry. These pieces are in the domain. This is a centralized PC. Okay. So A information, B information stored here. And I can create a multiple users here. I'm creating users in the centralized PC only. I'm creating users in the centralized PC. I can log into user 1 here. I can log into user 2 here today. Tomorrow I can log into user 3 here, user 4 here. Day after tomorrow, for example, morning shift, user 1 login here, user 2 login here. Afternoon shift, user 3 login here, user 4 login here. Next day, user 2 login here, user 1 is login here. Okay, so like that, they can log in any system because user information not stored in locally, user information stores in a domain controller, means centrally. User information not storing in a domain stores in domain controller, stores in centralized system or a server, which is nothing but your domain controller. Okay, so this is next. Here I will create a group policy. Okay, I'll create a group policy here, like a group policy. Oh, very tiny, tiny. Okay, I create a group policy here. Okay, and I apply the group policy settings to all other PCs from here only. Okay, so that is it is become clumsy. I create a group policy here. I apply this group policy to every PC from here. Okay, so that is here it is. So work group and domain. Guys, understand? Work group means any individual PCs, no centralized administration, no centralized control. Each PC has their own administrator. Domain, centralized administrator is there, is a administrating all the PCs. This is centralized administration. So we create a policy, enforce the settings to every user in the network, to everyone. Okay, using group policies. So important factors here it is. The thing is, look at here, work group domain. When you say difference, centralized administration and decentralized administration. No centralized control for work group. Centralized controller is there. That is a domain controller. It's nothing but a server. Okay. So in work group, every PC has their own administrator. But here it is. So we have a centralized administrator is there. We have a centralized administrator is there. Okay, one PC user cannot log into other user. I think I didn't write in that one, but user in the domain can log into any of the domain computer. May I have written that one or not? A domain user can log into any domain computer. Okay, passwords and settings. User password settings stores in their own PCs. Their own PCs the data is stored. But here it is users, groups, computers, entire information stores in the central PC only. Okay, here it is. We cannot control centrally in the work group. We cannot control centrally. Okay, so individually we have to control the system. Individually you have to manage the system, not centrally. So more number of PCs are increases, it's very difficult to manage. But here it is, we can enforce various settings to the systems or computers users in a domain using group policies. So it is lesser the difficult than normal. So this is a main important point. What is the work group and the domain, guys? So if you need any changes, we can make the changes also like this. I put a settings is enough. Okay. What is group policy also? This is a definition, guys. What is group policy is also a definition. Is we can enforce various type of settings to users and computers. I put a remove this one. I put like enforce various type of settings to large number of users. Large number of users. That is a group policy. Okay. What is a group policy? Is a very simple. This is a good definition for a group policies. Next, this is another one. Active Directory domain. Definition is one of the definition is users, group, computer, and services, resources, information stored in a centralized system. This is Active Directory domain, one of the definition. Active Directory definition. This is AD definition. Domain controller, where it stores in Active Directory database. Name of the database is also I will mention here. So that is called a NTDS.DIT. NTDS.DIT. Okay. So as another definition of Active Directory, these two are belongs to Active Directory, guys. Okay, this is belongs to group policy. See in this 5 lines only, 5 6 lines, I covered three definitions here. What is a domain? It's a centralized administration. Okay, of course Active Directory domain I didn't define. This is work group and domain. Still we have a time. So I put a AD domain, right? So when you are searching for a domain, only domain, never search for the only domain, guys. AD domain means Active Directory domain, as a definition is there. So and Active Directory is also there, right? So AD domain, Domain, AD domain is a centralized administration. That part already I told, but here is a simple definition. A logical administrative boundary of users and computers. Logical administrative boundary of users and computers. That is a simply domain definition, guys. See, look at here. This is the boundary. A and B PCs are belongs to a domain. Okay, I didn't write completely about that one. So if you time is very less, that's why I'm not writing. I have a I have opened anything related to Active Directory part. No, no. I have old PPT. I have to search which PPT, which place I have written about Active Directory part. This is good. Sign in options, MBR, Windows 10 Practical, Server, Domain, and Workgroup. I'll try to open this. I have a lot of good pictures are there. Some are not at all good pictures. So this is not at all good picture. I don't know. It's entirely virtualization part. Very good. This is we are going to servers. Yeah, very good. This is a forest domain pictures, group policy pictures, storages. This is look like little clarity. Okay, so domain. This is the PNG. Occupying more space. So what we need, any picture, what we can able to do it. Yes, have to chop it, right? So why it is not showing? Yeah, crop. Okay, that's it. Okay, guys, look at here. So this is a simple unwritten boundary part. It is there. So it is centralized computer. These are the clients. Okay, these are all clients. Here it is C1, C2, C3, C4 are my domain computers. C5, C6 not mentioned here. Not mentioned here. Users, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5 up to user 10. Users are created in my domain controller. So user 1 can able to log in any of these PCs, but we can able to log in user 1 to 10 can able to log in any of these PCs, but C1, C2, C3, C4 only. So these users, domain users, cannot log into other users, those who are not in the domain. Those are not in the domain. Okay. So that is what this picture meaning is. So okay, here it is. I've written small picture. That's why I'm showing a big one. So a logical administrative boundary means this is the boundary. Up to C4 is a boundary. Even C5, C6 are in the same network, but you domain users cannot log into that one because there is not in my domain. Okay, so that's it is. So what is this Active Directory? It is a one of the Microsoft service from 2000, and so it is a Microsoft service, but that is not exactly it is. It is Microsoft service, Windows service, one of the service. Okay, but exactly it is not a definition of thing. Okay, if you find there is a part is there. So what I'm trying to do is I am not going to that point. Okay, so here it is. What is an Active Directory? Active Directory database. AD database stores user, computer, group, services, and resource identity of users, groups, computers, services, and resources information. Or if you are already used identity, no problem. Okay, information. So that is this is the better information. So that's active AD database stores identity of users, computers, groups, services, and resources. And also Active Directory, what it will do, it will also do authenticate users and computers when they log in. Okay, in network or into server into domain. You can use like this into domain or network. So some places, some devices into system. Like normally say a user is logged into a PC, domain PC, it authenticates that user, it verifies username and password. Okay. So because of Active Directory database stores the information. Active Directory database name is NTDS.DIT. Okay. Authentication protocol BRBROS and LDAP. Two authentication protocols are there. This port number is 88. This port number is 389. Active Directory is nothing but a Microsoft service. So Active Directory concept is only available in the Microsoft service. Not authentication concept. It's a Active Directory word is introduced in the Microsoft Windows servers only. Windows servers almost like a 2000 onwards, Active Directory is introduced. ADDS Active Directory domain service. Active Directory domain services. It is also same as Active Directory. This is introduced in Windows Server 2008. Okay, so AD is in 2000, ADDS in 2008. Okay, so these are the simple guys. What is an AD domain? What is a domain meaning is a domain, also we can say domain, a logical administrative boundary of users and computers. What is an Active Directory? Active Directory is a directory service. Actually, it is a directory service. We call it as a directory service. So, Active Directory database stores user, group, computers, information. Okay, information. So, the what is the Active Directory database name? NTDS.DIT. So, because of your database is centrally located, whenever the domain users and computer whenever the domain user log into a domain computer. Okay, so when user is log into a computer, you are giving username and password, right? So it verifies your username and password and authenticate users to log in. So that is Active Directory part. Okay, so this is the diagram. So will shows a small representation of Active Directory, guys. There is a computer C1, C2, C3, C4, and there is a domain controller. Okay, server. So it has a database. Like I created a users in the domain controller from user 1 to user 10, and I add a computers to my domain. I have five, six computers are there. By added of only four. So now C1, C2, C3, C4 are a domain computers. C5, C6 are not in my domain computer. So now what we have to do? I can log into any of the PCs from C1, C2, C3, C4, not C5, C6. Not C5, C6. I can log into anywhere. When I log in, so user 1 is log into C1. So the information, so one second, last. So when I log into user 1 into the C1, it will send information to domain controller. Domain controller verify username of user 1, password is correct, yes. Then it will tell to the C1. So it will give information, yeah, user 1 is okay. Okay, user 1, your username and password is verified, you are able to log into this PC. User 2 is trying to log into this PC, same. It it send the information to domain controller verify user name and password and tells yes, it is correct. After that one, it will give permission, yes, you can access the user C2 PC. Okay, like that. So next one is already I explained, right? So this next one is i want to control I want to control. I want to send a policy, a through policy. I want to tell. So user should not create a users should not create a data on the desktop. So it is. I have a desktop. So much of data is there. Users should not create a data on the desktop. That is one policy. Okay. For example, user required a user required a particular application. So I can deploy an application to the domain users. Okay, I can deploy through the group policies. Or users should follow. All these people should follow a firewall policy. Okay, I can deploy this firewall policy from centralized server. So number of devices increases. It's difficult to manage individually. So what is a more helpful kind of stuff is domain controller. So this is the main important point of your Microsoft and as well as your server. Guys, since morning we are looking from like a what is server. Morning I explained about SOP, of course, but we are also explained about what is peer-to-peer server client models and what are the different services, different type of servers, and now it is what is work group, what is domain, and already I told and I shared what is domain kind of stuff, practically how to set the password and all. So please go through it. If you don't understand or you want to see once more, I can show you any domain controller which is I have in my PC. Okay, guys. Wow. At least it's a timeout, guys. Already 2 o'clock. Still, you people are sleeping or what?